everyone. I'm here with Yesenia Carrillo, who is currently a grad student at San Jose State. She is working on her thesis, Communicating the Unthinkable, Cancer Prognostic Conversations Among Latinx Communities. Yesenia, can you give us some background on what your thesis topic is all about?
Yeah, so I actually started looking at this last semester in after my first full year as a grad student. So I was a part of a Stanford research project with a professor at San Jose State, Dr. Haverfield, and she introduced me to the idea. Which it was her research project. She was looking at prognostic conversations, but I decided to take a different approach and look at how culture impacts prognostic conversations, specifically within the Latinx community. And I think the reason why I was really interested in this was because growing up, I was quote unquote like handling a lot of business matters with my family. So I am a first gen college student, and so
Mhm.
my parents really looked to me for like translation to help them with their healthcare like appointments. And so I always saw the firsthand experience of like having to advocate for my family. And so
Mhm.
I realized that it was really important to look into this because I've seen it firsthand, and I know there's a lot of other people that go through hardships navigating the healthcare system, especially when you're either an immigrant, undocumented, or like, you don't speak the language. There's a lot of barriers that come along with it. So that's kind of why I wanted to look into this.
That's great, and you're right. I think it's completely important.
Mhm.
Now, can you speak to how you conduct your research?
Yeah, so what I plan to do is interview 20 participants. So I'm planning on looking at 10 patients and 10 providers, and I plan on conducting a thematic analysis. So to conduct my part or to collect my participants, I am using social media actually, which is really interesting. I'm using Facebook and Instagram to kind of use a snowball effect to collect participants. And so I'm putting out a video and flyers, hoping that participants or people see it and want to be a part of the study. And
Mhm.
then I'm also reaching out to clinics as well with their outpatients, so patients that have already finished either their treatment or they're going back to like appointments, but they're not currently. In the middle of getting diagnosed and things like that. So I'm hoping to collect participants that way and then conduct a thematic analysis.
Great. That sounds really
Mhm.
well rounded.
Yeah.
So, do you have any advice for undergraduate students who are considering continuing their studies through grad school?
Yeah, well, I have a lot of different points or ideas, but I think one of the biggest things that I wish I would have done, so I would highly recommend for anybody continuing their studies, is try to find with your classes, if you're like having papers to write, try to find topics that you think could potentially become a thesis if you want to have write a thesis, or even a project. So I recommend trying to find those kinds of projects where you find yourself like really interested in them. Can they be developed further if you are thinking about publishing or being part of like any like NCA, like any big conferences? That way you can get feedback from your professors, you can work on it extensively, and you're getting the ability to see if it can be extended further. And I wish I would have done that sooner. I think that would have helped me because I kind of did everything this semester. So making sure that you figure out your timeline, I think, was really important, and I wish I would have done that earlier on in the program. So that's one of
Great.
like the biggest takeaways. Yeah.
Perfect. Now, that's solid advice. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yesenia, thank you so much for speaking with me today. And I look forward to reading about your findings in the future.
Thank you so much.